What up, though, good people? This is your boy Chef EJ coming at you from Jelani Catering.
That's it. That's all. You only get as much as you put in, you feel me? When you trying to ball, you trying to get off that Alpine shit. Put that work in. Yeah. Big Nessie.
So stay tuned and cheers. What up, though, good people? It's your boy Chef EJ coming at you from Jelani Catering. And today's Valentine's Day dropper, we doing lamb. Stay tuned. Cheers. Before we get started, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of this Earl Stevens Function Red Blend. Shout out to 40 Water. You know, my weebilization. Then shot me a like over there on Goon with the Spoon. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate them over there. So I'm gassed like a hot rod. And I hope y'all ready for this lamb with these garlic mashed potatoes. But like I say, we're going to go ahead and start with these garlic mashed potatoes. Add our diced potatoes into this hot boiling water. Then what we're going to do is add 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, depending on size. I got 3 nice size ones right there. Y'all see, I'm going to go ahead put them right in the water. And we're going to let that simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and get our lamb going. Add a little bit of oil to the pan. Got our heat going under there. We're going to go ahead and season our lamb. Of course, we're going to season both sides. Jelani, all-purpose house season, of course. And as I said, both sides. So we're just going to get these to turn over. Turn over. And as you can see, one lamb has bones, the other doesn't. I'll sprinkle you on that game a little bit later. You got to stay tuned. But for now, you can just see how it's done. We're going to go ahead and add our lamb in the pan. And you notice we got 2 pans going right now. We don't want to overcrowd our pans while we're searing. That stops us from getting good color. And we love good color. Yes, we do. So we're just going to let those sear on this one side. Turn them over, get color on all sides. And then go ahead and put our aromatics in. Deglaze a little bit and toss them in the oven. Now that we got good color on one side of our lamb, we're going to go ahead and turn them over. Look at that beautiful color we got. It's a beautiful sear. And we're just going to get that on all sides of our lamb. Look at that beautiful sear. Nice render fat. And as I said, we're going to add our aromatics, especially now that we've got nice color. So a little bit of onion, a little bit of smashed garlic, a little bit of thyme. Of course, always just a touch of oil to coat them so they're not so dry. And season. Jelani all-purpose house seasoning. We're going to organize our pan right now. Now we're going to baste, deglaze, put our lamb in the oven. And as I said, just to baste, organize your pan, tilt, and evenly coat that butter over all your protein. And we're working a little harder today because we're doing 2 pans, so we're going to let that work. Go ahead and baste this pan. Let that melt in this pan. One more time and then we're going to deglaze. I'm going to say deglaze, Function Red Blend, my favorite red. Shout out to 40. Now weebilization. These going right in the oven. Now let's work on our braised kale. We're gonna add a little bit of oil to our pan, add our mushrooms, get nice caramelization on those. Then we're gonna add our onions. Now that our mushrooms have got nice color on them, we're gonna season Jelani's all-purpose house. Give them just a little bit of a stir. Turn our heat down just a touch to about medium. Add our onions. Then we're gonna add our oil. After we add our oil, then we're gonna go ahead and stir those just right around and get a little bit of caramelization on our onions. Now that our mushrooms and onions are nicely caramelized, we're gonna go ahead and add our kale greens. And I just wanna let y'all know, these greens right here that I'm doing, I know I done ran them back again, but these is granny certified. So ladies, fellas, you cook these for your granny, I guarantee you she gonna say, And I'm gonna tell you one thing, you ain't gotta cook them as long as them collard greens and them mustards and them turnips. I know all about it. It's Chef EJ, baby. That's where I come from. But I'm gonna just tell you about these kales. You get you these kales, you braise them for about 15, 20 minutes. And like I say, hey, they granny certified. You understand me? Now that we got them sauteed and sweated down just a little bit, we're gonna, of course, deglaze with my favorite wine, Function Red. 40 water. We drinking that like water. Go ahead and mix that in. Add just a touch of chicken stock. About a quarter cup, half a cup, not too much. And like I say, we're going to let these simmer or braise for about 15 minutes. Then we're going to add in our freshly sliced tomatoes, okay? Now it's time to take our lamb out. Go ahead and give it a touch. Yep. It's been about 10 minutes for that nice medium rare. As I said, if you want well done, you're going to be looking at that 20-25 minute mark. And depending on if you don't have New Zealand or Aussie lamb, it might be just a little bit longer as far as that cook temperature. But like I say, for that nice medium rare on these Aussies, it's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes. Now that our greens are nice and tender, we're going to add our tomatoes. Season, Jelani's all-purpose house seasoning. Don't have to go too crazy, but be generous. Mix that in just a little bit. Once we mix those tomatoes in, we're going to kill our heat because we don't want to overcook our tomatoes. And of course, we're going to add just a touch of butter. Or as I always say, a knob, as the Brits say. Go ahead and mix that in with our wine and chicken stock mixture. And just look how beautiful those greens look. They just look nice and colorful with the tomatoes. The tomatoes won't be overcooked. The butter's going to provide a nice luscious sauce to coat the greens. And we have great seasoning. It's going to be beautiful on our plate. So now we have our butter coated. We're just going to go ahead and take these off. Now we're going to go ahead and sear our tomatoes. These are just going to be a garnish on our plate. And as I said, this is going to be a lamb for two. This lamb Jelani style. Remember, we don't do anything like anybody else here. It's always the Jelani way. And that's why I'm Chef EJ, you understand? Add a little bit of oil. Let these tomatoes get nice color. Won't take long. As soon as they move, that means they're ready to turn. See that? Ready to turn. And it doesn't take much force. We're going to go ahead and turn. Beautiful. Beautiful. And once again, like I say, beautiful. Not too much color. We just want to put a little sear and flavor on them. Season. And they're ready to come off. Very simple garnish, but will impress any of your dinner guests or fellas, especially your lady. Go ahead, kill our heat. Now that our potatoes are nice and tender, we're going to go ahead and liquidate our ravenelles. Now we're going to smash our potatoes. And this is very easy. And as I always say, we don't need a fancy meal for our potatoes as long as our potatoes are tender and soft. Even an old plastic masher such as this will work just fine. Now that our potatoes are mashed, We're gonna add our milk or cream, a couple knobs of butter, and this time we're gonna use feta cheese to complement the flavor profile of our lamb. So right there we put about a quarter cup of feta cheese, and we're just gonna mix that together like everything else. Now that we've added our feta and mixed it a little bit, we're gonna season with our all-purpose Jelani house seasoning, of course. Mix that in there. And we have a beautiful feta mashed potato. Now we're gonna go ahead and crust our lamb. Crust our lamb, all we're gonna do is take a little bit of Dijon mustard, a little bit of that mustard, no mayonnaise. I'm gonna brush it right over top of our lamb. And then what we're gonna do is take a little bit of our herb crust here, sprinkle that right over top. And we're gonna go ahead and roll our lamb right in that crust to make it stick right over the top, like that.
Damn, she done called us, as if we didn't know this. Damn, she done called us. Come on, chip, focus. Damn, she done called us, as if we didn't know this. Damn, she done called us. Come on, chip, focus.
Now fellas, you cook this lamb, get you a bottle of this Earl Stevens Function Red Blend. As you can see, I'm already functioning, and you tell me it ain't a dropper. Once again, I'm Chef EJ from Jelani Catering. Cheers. What up, though, good people? It's your boy Chef EJ coming at you from Jelani Catering. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to follow us at Twitter and Instagram at Jelani Catering. Cheers.